Hey, I have this wobbly stack of beautiful editions next to me, and I thought I would come in and talk about some of my favourite editions of books I have. For this video, I'm only going to focus on novels because I realise I have loads of favourite editions I like. I'm kind of a magpie for favourite editions of books I like, or by authors, books by authors I like that I see that are beautiful because um, I think just in an age where we're becoming more and more technological, I'm always worried that they're gonna stop printing books or something, or like in a scenario like where we've got going on at the moment, that they're gonna stop printing books and be like, look, it's not worth the money, it's not worth the damage to the environment. We're just gonna go all online now, and then it will become a black market for books, and I'll have hit a gold mine possibly. So yeah, I love keeping beautiful editions of books. So I thought I'd just run through some of my favourite beautiful editions of novels that I like. I'm only going to show beautiful editions of novels that I've read because some of the editions I have to read I've not read yet, so I can't really judge how good the cover is if I've not read it yet, I don't think. Okay, so first up I'm going to say this edition of Lord of the Rings, which I stole from my brother's bookshelves. He's never read it, but it has an ink stain on it, and I just love it. This is an old 1984 edition. To Robert from John and Denise, Christmas 1984. So I guess it's ended up in a charity shop, and then my parents bought it for my brother. But yeah, it kind of has Bible-y paper, but it's not quite as thin as Bible-y paper. But that means that it's not so heavy for a hardback. But yeah, when I worked at Sainsbury's, I used to smuggle this into work with me and read it at the back of the counters when my manager wasn't around. Right, okay, next I have this edition of The Waves. It's like an old Penguin Modern Classics edition. But yeah, I love this edition. It's just minimalist and bare, beautiful, perfect. Okay, next I have this edition of The Girls of Slender Means by Muriel Spark. I love this edition. Quote from W.H. Auden on the front. Who wouldn't want that on a book? And yeah, I really do like this. This is the American edition. Is this a first edition? It might be. By Alfred A. Knopf, New York, 1963. First edition. Woohoo. But yes, love the font. Love this edition. Okay, next I have The Bees by Lillian Paul. So, I mean, this on its own wouldn't be my favourite edition because this is quite standard for your, contemporary hardback. Now they kind of make them like that. That's the back. Accept, obey, serve. But if you take this off, oh my god, now that is stunning. So I love that. And this was designed by Nancy Nairing. But yeah, this is really, really stunning. Next I have this, To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. And this is like a new Windmill series from 1985. This was my aunt's that she had in school, and I just find it on my childhood bookshelves back home. But yeah, this is my favourite edition of To Kill a Mockingbird because, I mean, it's out of print, so no one can get it, but I do. It's really cute, and I really like it. The font isn't too small, it's just right, I think, for a smaller book, so love that. Next I have The Black Album by Hanif Kureishi. This is an American edition as well. Don't know if this is the first edition. Yeah, I think this is the first edition because, yeah, it is a first edition because it says first ad. But yeah, I love this edition. It's just trippy and very. I don't know if you would call it 90s, but it's very like Buddhist-y. his first novel was called The Buddha of Suburbia. I really want to read that. But this comes from the Black Album was an album by Prince, so the title is a nod to that album. Okay, next I have this, The Infernal Design Machines of Dr. Hoffman by Angela Carter. This is an old Penguin Orange Classics edition. The only thing I don't like about this cover is that the font on the back is blurry. Now, it just looks like my camera's blurry, but it actually is quite blurry. But the actual font inside isn't blurry. Yeah, I love this cover. The cover is just as wacky and surreal and colourful as the novel. And I don't know if any other noughties kids remember, but Pizza Hut used to have this really old aesthetic of like, I don't know, wallpaper on the walls or whatever it was, but this kind of reminds me of that Pizza Hut aesthetic, even though, you know, this has nothing to do with Pizza Hut. But yeah, this is lush. And the typography also feels very typewritten. It feels like someone's banged it out on a typewriter, which really adds to the experience of reading it. But yeah, I love this book. Okay, next I have this floppy paperback edition of Joshua Spassky by Gwendolyn Riley. I love this cover. It's like an independent movie cover. I'm guessing that's meant to be Joshua Spassky just on a motel mattress spending the day in bed, which isn't something I'm adverse to. But yeah, I love this edition. It's only like 160 pages, but the font is also quite chunky. All of Gwendolyn Riley's novels were written in this, well, printed in this like chunky font, which I think just makes them really pleasant to read for some reason. But yeah, I love this edition. And next I have the latest book by Gwendolyn Riley, which is First Love. Not in love with this so much, but I absolutely adore this hardback edition without the dust jacket, just the gold and black. It feels very sleek, very, you know, Beckettian in a way. It's signed by her, but I mean, I just bought it because I had on my Waterstone student discount card, I had points, so I bought this with it. Yeah, what I love about this is that the formatting is actually quite sparse, which is unprecedented for a Gwendolyn Riley novel. They're always huge chunky fonts. But it makes me read this one kind of totally differently than the other ones. But I really, really love the font in this one. I love that they did that. I'm guessing it has something to do with her moving from Penguin to Granta with her latest novel. But yeah, I really love the sparse formatting in that one. Next, The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. I love this concentric spiralling pattern. It's like you're spiralling into the despair along with Esther. And it kind of has a cult feel to it, this cover. So yeah, love this edition. The only thing that irks me, possibly, about the Bell Jar editions is that they always have spelling errors in them. There's always like a spelling error, like every 10th page or something. And I don't know if that's meant to be there or whether it's just Faber can't be bothered to go over the, you know, the manuscript and correct the spelling errors. But there's always spelling errors, so I'm never sure if that's just meant to be Esther deliberately putting a spelling error in or not. But yeah, apart from that, love that edition. Also have this edition, this old, you know, Roald Dahl edition. Oh, I love it. It's so cute and brown, and the oh, look at it, it's so cute, and the font's chunky. Yes, love this. I spent many nights up, not sleeping, reading this as a kid. Okay, and next I have my favourite cloth-bound editions. So I have Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, and I have Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. I got these when I was 17, when I was doing my A-levels. I wasn't studying these books for A-levels, just wanted to read them. But these are my favourite cloth-bound editions. What I love about them is that now that I've had them a while, they are quite worn, But if anything, I think they get more and more beautiful the more worn they are. I mean, if they get mouldy and stuff, I mean, no. But as they are, I love, love, love it. Like, they actually look like they might be 19th century editions, even though they're not. But yeah, I love it. And the swans and the colour is just perfect for the Pride and Prejudice. And similarly, you know, this is a bit worn. It's not too worn, actually. But towards the bottom, you can see it is quite worn. But yeah, I love the thorny blue. Oh, it's gorgeous. I love, 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 love it. Next, I have Goblet of Fire, Harry Potter. Well, any of the Harry Potter, like, 5th edition styles, I love. I love the back of this one particularly. Oh, it's so cute. But yeah, I love the hardback ones. I love the feel of them. Love the typography of the pages. Love them. Okay, and next I have Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. I have the deluxe Penguin Classic Edition, and deckled edges. Look at that, stunning. And look at that, oh my god, it's so beautiful and Tim Burton-y and gothic and just perfect. And look at the back, oh my god, that's one of my favourite things from a book edition ever. That one, oh, it's so lush. Okay, and now on to the final 3. So I have Orange is Not the Only Fruit by Jeanette Winterson. I adore this cover. Oh, it's so perfect. Like, they kind of look like nuns falling, but they're not. They're, you know, falling lesbians. Love Orange is Not the Only Fruit. Oh, this is such a beautiful edition. I'm not sure what this is. It looks like mould, but it's not mould. I think maybe it's from when there were mice in the flat I used to live in. Maybe they nibbled it or something. I don't know what that's from. But yeah, I absolutely adore this Virago edition. Next, I have this, I think this is a 2nd edition of Sex and the Cherry by Jeanette Winterson. Now, this isn't my favourite Jeanette Winterson novel, but I do really love this edition, and I love this picture here on the back. Oh, look, it's just like, it's just shameless. Like, this is the author of the book. Like, now, loads of the authors have tiny, 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 minuscule covers on the back. So I love that they went all out. But maybe that's because it's an American edition. Maybe in America, they're more shameless with their authors. Whereas in Britain, we like to be like, did they write this book? You know, we don't want to even show their faces. Like, no, it's not about the author. But yeah, I love this edition. It's an Atlantic Monthly Press edition, but she signed it for me when I saw her at a book event for Frankenstein that she did in Manchester in last October. But yeah, I love this edition. Yeah, copyright 1989, 2nd printing. But look at the typography and look at that. Oh, it's so cute. Yeah, I love this edition. And even without the cover, yeah, it's still really gorgeous. Okay, and last but not least, we have this edition of The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. Now, you might notice that I have a poster of the original edition, which, I mean, a lot of you are probably cringing at, but I absolutely adore that poster and that edition, so I have it, and it's my room. So, but yeah, I love this edition. It's kind of like minimalist, but it's not like modern Urban Outfitters minimalist because it's swirly. And I just love that J.D. Salinger put his foot down and was like, no, you will not have a picture of me on the back. You will not have, you know, some cringy quote by someone. You will not have a blurb ruining the book for everyone on the back. You will not have an introduction. You will not have an afterword. You will simply have the title, author's name, list of other books by the author, and the actual book. I absolutely love that. And I love that as an author, he had the power to just dictate that. I think authors should be able to do that if they want to. But for this book, I think having such a stripped back approach to the book is perfect. Yeah, love this edition. So yeah, you may have noticed that I'm here in my Japanese style evening gown. I'm also having a cup of tea with my stud mug. But what are some of your most beautiful editions of books that you have?